What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the VoteSnet. This is your host, Doc, and today, excuse me. And today we're going to be diving into the news that I think is the most true fact that I will discuss on this channel is that the Cleveland Cavaliers are the clear NBA Finals winners with this recent injury to Kevin Durant. So we're going to go and discuss what's to come in the rest of the season, and you guys can comment your opinion on who's going to be the champion this year, and subscribe if you want to remain a member of the VoteSnet. So, as you guys know, a week ago, Kevin Durant got his knee knocked in. He sprained his MCL, and typically that is a 6 to 8 week injury. So that's gonna be in the middle of the playoffs when he should be seen back in the lineup for Golden State. The issue with that is when he comes back, there's gonna be a lot of need to get the chemistry back, and that's gonna be tough to try to do in the middle of the playoffs. Now, what I would do. What I expect for Golden State to do is try to move on and lean more on Clay and Steph to do what they were doing last year in their old form. But the issue with that is they got rid of so many key components of their bench, such as Andrew Bogut's now gone, Harrison Barnes is now gone, and then Andre Iguodala is a shell of the man he was last year. So that's going to be a huge and major issue for them to try to deal with and try to improve on this year. So when you look at that, they're not going to be able to have the same kind of success that they were able to have last year, and I think it's going to be a huge drop off in the playoffs because, as we all know, when you get into playoff basketball, what kind of game is it? Yes, you can still win with 3 balls, as we've seen Golden State done in the past, but you see such a larger emphasis on the physical aspects of NBA basketball, and that's just something that they're not going to be able to deal with as well as they were last year because they're lacking that size with Barnes and Bogut, and then they're just not physical players like that other than Draymond Green around on the roster. So that's going to be a huge issue for them when it's coming around for their the playoffs ahead. I know that there's a potential for them to play a team like the Pelicans in the first round, and I know that Golden State probably will win in 4 games, but that's still another physical game that they got to play with 2 huge stars in the middle that they got to bang with and try to deal with a smaller Draymond Green. Now, as they keep moving forward, it doesn't get easier because then they'll either play the Clippers the Clippers they'll probably blow out because they just have their number, the Spurs or the Rockets, and they can play the same brand of 3-point shooters they can, but now they got the size that they're lacking with the missing Kevin Durant. But Kevin Durant can return, and he can have some kind of impact in what he's trying to do when he comes back, but it's not going to be to the extent of what he did before. Because when we saw what happened to Steph last season, last season or year before, I don't remember, I think it was last year. He had that grade 1 ankle sprain, and that affected him. I'm sorry, my dog's acting crazy. And that didn't help him too much when they got to playoff times against LeBron. Now, I'll double down on why I think this is I think that the improvement that the Cavs has made is just going to overwhelm whatever the Golden State has lost. Darren Williams is the biggest pickup out of any free agent that they got since the season started, without question. When you see him play, he still has the moments where he can have a quick all-star player moment, and that's coming off your bench that can shoot threes and has a great distribution skills. That is great. It's a step down from what LeBron's able to do, but it's a good piece to have on a team where you can just know that you can pass around. You have another 3-point shooter that's able to do such, and he's reliable in his control and keeping down his turnovers. So I would expect Darren Williams to have the biggest impact of them all. But you can't look down on what Derek Williams is he has become more of a physical and confident player in what he's able to do. He's attacking the rim. He's taking those 3-point shots when they're open, and he's just being a hustle man that they need. And when you think about it, his role that he's playing is an improved role of what Chris Anderson, Mr. Birdman, got excited for Chris Anderson, what Mr. Chris Anderson used to do for them. He is a hustler. He's going to dive on the floor for you. He's going to attack the rim. He's going to just be that tone setter when you got your stars of Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, LeBron out. He can fill those roles. He can play well off the bench. Just imagine the lineup that the Cavs can have now with Derek Williams, Darren Williams, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, and throwing in Tristan at center. And you can roll that as a pseudo second lineup. That's deep. That's really deep, and that's gonna be tough for Golden State to deal with because they have such a thin bench. They had to pick up Matt Barnes just on the team just to try to manage the hole that they lost with Kevin Durant. Then that's gonna be a major issue for them. I could still see Golden State putting up a fight, but I think it's a long shot for them to win a championship, even if Kevin Durant comes back. It isn't looking well. I think that this is just another situation where super teams don't go the way that we all think all the time. We assume that they're just going to blow through and win 3, 4, 5 titles in a row. It just doesn't work like that because there's a lot of things that can happen that can mess with the chemistry they are forming, and it's just going to be a big issue as the playoffs starts rolling through. I mean, when I look at it, honestly, my projection, even with Kevin Durant's return, I'm leaning towards the Rockets Cavs finals because the Rockets can match with the 3-point shooting of Golden State, and Golden State's going to be having to deal with regaining their chemistry that they lost with Kevin Durant out. So, and what I'm seeing, I really don't expect for Golden State to reach the finals again this year. But there's 30 games left. We still got a lot more to go, and anything can happen, as we just saw with what happened to Kevin Durant. So, with that, we're just going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Breaking News with the Doc. So, thanks for sticking around with us, being patient. We're trying to get everything wrapped up with the VoSNet. The Votes Network in order. I've been recording a series on the side that I kind of wanted to see a surprise. This is something I'd like to do, and now I'm 10 episodes in. You guys can take guesses in the comments too, what you think the game is. I'm just gonna throw a game on the channel while I upload my main speaking points in the sports world. So that's just something I want to throw out and see how you guys enjoy that as well. It's just gonna be sporadic. As you see, the content is a little sporadic, but I'm trying to get myself all together and organized. So just thanks for sticking around if you have all this time and looking through these episodes. With that, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for sticking with the VoSNet. This is your host, Doc, and I hope to see y'all around again.